This is American Farmlands by TK Farms. It's only 49.42 megabytes to download, and the description says, "Welcome to American Farmlands, a sandbox, a style map for those with a creative imagination. Map details: American Midwest feel, sandbox style game, working AI routes, starter farm with one field, new farmer mode, train, grain sale point, bale sale point, train sale point, animal dealer, vehicle shop, small to large farmland sizes. All 62 farmlands are buyable, 100 wooden collectables, precision farming ready, custom map features, custom animal food for sheep, cows and chickens, additional paintable textures, additional paintable foliage, paintable fields, Midwest US seasonal weather integrated, custom crop prices, custom soil map." And it says happy farming. So let's go and check it out. And here we are. This is where you start off in all three modes. This is the map, guys. So as you can see, not a lot going on because it is going to be one of those come on here, build your own map, buying plots and progressing as you go. There is a train on here, as it says. There it is. It runs from east to west, right across the middle like that. So there is a railroad silo there. There is the sale point, that is Jacksonburg. I don't know why it's that end though, because the train actually goes that way. But anyway, there we go. So yeah, sale point up there with the railroad silo. We've got a Bale sale point, animal dealer, shop. That is it. We are actually over here at our starting farm in new farmer mode. So in new farmer mode, we start off with that plot, 31. That has got a value of 181,862. Does come with our farmhouse, a silo, a couple of barns, and then this field. In terms of the other map, it is all split up into squares and rectangles, obviously varying sizes and varying prices. I think 61's the biggest and most expensive. That is just over 1 million, and 34 I think is the cheapest at 90,000 just over. As for the others, these guys are around the 350, 380 mark. Down here, what have we got? 634, 303, 108, like so. You can even buy the plots where there's sale points and the train, 171 for there. And this strip with the animal dealer and shop, 311,000 just over. And that is it really. There's no custom crops. We will stay in this menu. Just at the bottom there on the right hand side, 100 collectibles, like it says. They are the wooden toys like we've got on Elm Creek. No productions, we've got to place them down. Obviously no contracts available because we own the only field on the map. Now I did come on here in Farm Manager and test that because you don't start off with any land, and it was still showing currently no contracts available. So obviously there's not going to be any contracts on this map. No animal barns or pens. We scroll up, we do have custom crop prices, it says. So some of them look pretty good to me, the prices, which is good, but there's nothing added in, no extra products or anything like that. Now ag land is going to be your main sell point, or it is really your only proper sell point, bar the Bale one. That will take pretty much everything though. I think it's only road salt and what was the other one, diesel you can't sell, and also there's no sell point for wood. So there is a couple of trees on the map, but they're not like the spruce ones or anything like that. They're more like I think they're the American elms, are they? So if you do want to chop any of them down and sell them, you'll need to put some form of sell point or sawmill down. And then obviously if you want to make your own sort of forest area as well, you're going to have some point of sale for that. No BGA obviously because you need to build up towards that. It does say it's not a custom crop calendar, but it was the weather, wasn't it? But to me, I don't really know, so that doesn't mean anything to me. But there you go, that is that, guys. We'll go through mods. There's not a lot in there. It is literally, if we go over here, so as you can see, look, it is very open. It's pretty flat this side, but that side is a little bit of a slope on the areas over there, which we'll see in a second when we drive down there. But modded in things, silos, if we go all the way to the end. Not quite sure why this one's modded in, because it is exactly the same as the base game one in terms of capacity and price. I was hoping it was going to be a multi-fruit, but it's not. I stuck an auger underneath and it was only coming up with the standard crops in there, so that is it modded in. And so is the farmhouse, which again looks pretty much the same as what you'd get on Elm Creek. So it's obviously been modded in for the map for some reason. That is it, I think, for the mods. In terms of those animals having custom feeding, the cows don't look any different there for the symbols, but the percentages are slightly different. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of money in and just chuck down a pasture of these 3 animals that it affects. I think it's just the cows, sheep and chickens, but the sheep and chickens are a little bit more obvious. So in the sheep, if you look far right, they will take silage and hay, so no grass, it's just hay or silage, and I think it's a 50-50, but we will look at that in more detail. And then if we go to chickens, the chickens will take corn, so they will take your normal wheat, barley and sorghum, but they will also take corn. Like I say, we will check that out in a second. Nothing in decoration. If we go into painting though, we do have some textures. Now what I'm going to do is let's go over that with some grass like that, so I can show you, because we have 2 paintable field textures. And if we go back to there, we have a cultivated one. So if we do that, as you can see, that is nice and cultivated. If we go to the ploughed one, it gives us a ploughed look like so. So that's pretty cool. So those 2 are at the very beginning of the painting. There is a couple of extra ones. We've got animal mud, asphalt, dirt, forest ground, grass, dry grass, quite a few gravels, dry grass again, dirt, a couple of those, another gravel, another dirt, and that is it. So not too bad. Under plants though, we do have, if I scroll back to the start, a few extra added in ones. As you can see, it's got American Farmlands underneath these guys. We've got bushes, blueberries, weeds, all sorts going on. So that's pretty cool. And that pretty much is that, I believe. Yes. Right. We'll go through slot counts now. And equipment. You do start off with the same equipment in all 3 modes, but it is slightly different. I'll explain why in a second. So the equipment you get is this, and the slot count in new farmer mode is 582. But like I say, you get this equipment in all 3 modes. So we've got a John Deere 4755 and a John Deere 7810 in medium tractors. We've got the Deutschfahr harvester, the Lizard 1986 picker, a Valga trailer, header for our harvester, the Agramash plough, we've got the Rabe cultivator, Nordsten seeder, header for your trailer, sorry, for your header, a couple of 10 Winkle 750 kg weights, and then we've got our auger systems for putting in and taking out of that flat bottom bin we've got. So that is the equipment you get in all 3 modes. Now if you want to sell off all of that equipment and you don't want that equipment, you can get that slot count down to 472. You can get it down to 468, so there's only 4 slot difference by selling off all the buildings on our farm. So not a huge decrease, 4 slots, but if you don't want these buildings here and you want to build your own farm on this plot, you can do. Now, farm manager and start from scratch, the slot count is 578, yes. And the reason why it's 4 slots lower is because when you come on here, none of the buildings are here. Silo, the barns, the farmhouse, they are not here, but all the equipment is in exactly the same spot. So that is why it's 4 slot difference. So let's get moving round. We are on the porch of our farmhouse, sleep trigger at the front door there. We've got our pickup just there. We will whiz down this way. These buildings and barns, should I say, are from Elm Creek. You might recognise them. So we've got this guy, some of our equipment in. I think, didn't this one have a workshop in Elm Creek, but it's not showing that we have. Obviously we can go upstairs like we can in Elm Creek, and interestingly enough, this barn here, you could go down underneath. You could open these doors, which you still can. You could go down in underneath, but this has been adapted to just sit on flat ground. So if you sell that off, you don't end up with that hole in the ground like you did in Elm Creek. And then you had to landscape over that. So if you sell that off, it stays flat, this land, which is pretty nice. So if we run up to the back, you could go down this little hatch downstairs and underneath, but you can't obviously because it has been changed. So more equipment. Got our augers there, we've got our bin that is empty, and that's pretty much it, guys. That is our farm. Now I'm going to place down some animal pens just to show you. Let's quickly add in some money. Just needs a little bit extra, I think. We'll go up to 200. That should be enough. And we'll come back off there. So I am only going to place down the pastures of these guys. Now, I did also load into this map with some modded in animal pens because I was curious to see whether that was the case with the modded in things, and it is. So if you've got modded in animal pens you want to put down, the feeding is going to be the same for them as well. And then we'll place down a little chicken pasture like so. We'll just put one animal in each of them. It doesn't matter what type we've got, how old they are, and then we'll go into the animal menu and I'll just show you where we are at. So there we go, we've got one of each. So now if we go down to our animal menu, the chickens, now it just says grain 100%. So if you want, you can just fill that bar up with corn, I would guess. That's what it's saying to me. So that's pretty cool. So basically corn is just another thing we can chuck in there. There's no sort of split of the percentage. In the sheep, there is a split, 50% on each, but they will take silage and hay. Obviously, if you just give them all silage, you're only giving them half, you know, the productivity sort of thing. You know what I mean? And then this, like I say, that isn't any different to me for the actual feed, the TMR, the silage and hay, but the percentages are slightly different. I did try on Elm Creek, I loaded in and put down a pasture, and it's normally 100%, 80% and 40%. So those percentages are there, 110%, 90% for silage and 80 for hay. So there we are, and that is that bit, guys. I thought I'd show you that. We are going to whiz round now. We'll jump in the pickup and it will not take us long at all. There's not really much point whizzing up to the top of the map because there's nothing there apart from a load of grass. But we will jump onto the road. This is a pretty cool road, and as you can see to the right we have the train track running parallel to us, and as you can see, big open land. But it looks pretty cool, the distance texture there. You can see the sort of hills in the background. That's nice, I like that. And you can see all the big silos up the top there, which is where we'll head afterwards. There's no crossing here, but you can just see the train coming. It's pretty open. So yeah, this side, look, it's got a slight sort of slope to it. It's a little bit of a, the same that side. So it's not completely flat, which is nice. It's a little bit challenging. Obviously, if you've got loads of money, you can landscape it to your liking, whatever you want to do. So down this part. And like I said earlier, these are the trees that are on the map, so there's no spruce ones or anything like that. If you want to chop them down, you will have to put a sell point down. At the back here in front of this shed, we've got our sort of sell point for our bales. This will also take cotton and sugar beet cut, but it's going to be for your silage, grass, hay, straw, etc. Loose or in bales, it doesn't really matter. This is our animal dealer. That is going to show up those pens I've just put down. And then next door we do have the shop. We've got a workshop trigger just here in this zone, so if you park up in there, you're good to go. And then round the front, at the front door, we've got our shop icon. This is also your reset point, roughly about here, and obviously moving along the line depending on how many vehicles you've got. Nice little flat area there as well if you wanted to buy that. I think that's quite an expensive plot though there. But there you go, that is that area, and we're literally heading up over there, and that will be it. Nice easy one. Now there is another map out today at the time of recording, Hills of Tuscany. I really don't think I'm going to have time to do that one today. If I can, I will do it as soon as possible. But I saw this one and thought it's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. I'll get this one done. So apologies if that one doesn't come out today as well. But like I say, I will try my best. Right, along this lovely road. There comes the train. That's good timing because we know we're not going to get hit. We will wait because I want to turn in there. There we go, straight across the tracks and then round the back. This is going to be our railroad silo. So as normal, we've got our road access, which is in under here, so you tip in. Interestingly enough, there's no grill though, but you tip in and load up just in under here. And then if we go round the front, and we'll stop there, the train comes through from there, which is pretty nice. And I also like the roads, it just disappears off up there. It doesn't sort of, like, the cars don't go through the bushes. And then we've got our train access where you can unload and load up, which is nice. And then just over here we've got a rent a train option if you want to use the train. Literally across the tracks. Into here, and this is that main sell point, which is Ag Land or AG Land. There's no icon showing there though, but it is just in here. This is your main sell point, until of course you place one down yourself. And that is it, guys. So we started off at the main farm, come across, we went down, checked out this area, back up, across over there, checked out that. Like I say, it's all just open up there. There's no point going up there to look. But that is American Farmlands by TK Farms. Another pretty cool sandbox style map where you can do whatever you want on here. I hope you have all enjoyed it. Please let me know your thoughts on it. If you have enjoyed it, please hit the like button. That goes a long way to helping the channel. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. That would be fantastic. And don't forget to smash the bell so you don't miss any future videos of mine. I've been Farm Sim Snowy. Stay frosty.